Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Hopping right on into today's topic. Today's topic at hand is Jericho Guitars and Gibson Guitars. Coming right back at you guys with another news story, and let me tell you, man, it's a banger, it's a heater, it's a doozy, and I'm out of adjectives, but yeah, dude, let's start talking, man. All I ask is that you guys subscribe if you haven't done so, because this channel's rad, and I just really appreciate you all just coming back to hang out with me, alright? So if you want to join my friends and family here on the channel, it'd mean a lot, alright? Anyway, enough of the PR, let's start talking. Now, the news bulletin and the news story, allegedly, is that Jericho Guitars is being shut down, quote-unquote, by Gibson Guitars. And they're being shut down due to the fact that Jericho Guitars is currently making guitars that are very similar to Gibson guitar shapes. Time out. Before I go any further with this video, I want to say this right here. These are all allegations and speculations, and I'm making this video based off of everything that I've seen on the internet, through the Jericho Guitars Facebook page, their Instagram, through the common, just general consensus of the public and the guitar community. I don't know anything that is fact, and I'm not presenting anything as fact, okay? So we all clear on that? These are simply just allegations, and, you know, nothing has been proven in court or anything like that. I'm just covering the news, alright? Okay, so I'm going to put up the Facebook post that I screenshotted about an hour ago at the time of this recording from Jericho Guitars. Without establishing any contact whatsoever, Gibson's team of lawyers shut down my brand Jericho Guitars' website and attempted to stop me from hosting baritoneguitars.com and jerichoguitars.com. They shut down my personal and business email. They shut off Jericho Guitars' web hosting service. They forced me to remove every single one of my product listings offline before ever speaking a word or delivering me any letters of any kind ever. That's gnarly. That's heavy duty stuff, man. That's pretty intense, right? So in the event that this did happen and it is true, what do you guys think of this, man? It's gnarly, right? My business has been, for this past week, completely unable to accept orders, and after having switching hosting accounts, all our sales history is totally inaccessible to me. Days later, I found out that it was Gibson Guitars. This is a company I once looked up to, who is actually responsible for deleting the schedule of my kids' gymnastics games over a shape, and then had the nerve to 1 week later demand I give the receipts of my sales, as if they can just harass and intimidate other brands into taking what they want. I own baritoneguitars.com, baritoneguitars.com, or baritone/guitars.com, and the brand Jericho Guitars. I will not be scared into handing over my property. And modernbaritone.com were suspended over an allegation without instruction or explanation. This is a developing situation. Dave Musselman, CEO and President, Jericho Guitars, LLC. So, like I said, man, heavy duty stuff right here. According to, his name is Dave, the CEO, according to Dave, he's saying that Gibson Guitars' team just completely shut down their business over a couple of guitar shapes. So now, I personally covered Jericho Guitars about a year ago, give or take, giving them some love, showcase their products, you know, do what I always do, check out product lines and stuff like that. And one guitar in particular was this guitar right here. I'll put it up on the screen right now, but I'm looking at it on my end. This one right here. Now, at first glance, if you're unaware of what this is, it most likely looks like a Gibson Les Paul Custom, right? However, this is one of their classic guitars, I believe that's what they're called, and here's another one right here with a kind of like spalted maple looking top. These guitars look absolutely beautiful. Like, they look so rad, dude, and I've heard nothing but great things about Jericho Guitars from, you know, just again, the general consensus of the internet and the online guitar community. However, guys, it looks just like a Les Paul Custom. I mean, honestly, it really does, right? Another guitar shape we're checking out right here is this one right here, and this gentleman is actually the guy who was playing on the Fortin YouTube channel right before the 2020 thing that happened at the last, like, real NAMM. You guys ever see that video? Like, his playthroughs? So rad. I believe he's in the band called Car Bomb. Yeah, an amazing guitar player. Super rad. I highly recommend you guys checking out that video. But here, right here, he's playing a Jericho guitar, but again, at first glance, it doesn't necessarily look like a Jericho guitar. So, these are two guitars, at least that I can find, that are, you know, certainly in question. There might be one or two other shapes as well, but it just seems like this is just another company that is just, you know, experiencing the, I guess we'll call it the Dean experience, right? Another thing that's kind of funny and kind of relevant to this news story, people don't forget, the memes will never die, right? And that is on Jericho's Instagram, they posted a Be Authentic caption. Just a little subtle tip of the cap to 2019. Like, yeah, we don't forget. We remember that. So what's interesting about these news stories is I've certainly changed my tune and my opinions on how to approach these news stories. I've learned a lot over the last couple of years about covering stuff that has to deal with business and lawyers, and the opinions of the general public, or like what is morally correct or ethically correct, really just doesn't seem to bother Gibson, or they just don't really care. It's all about business for them. And, you know, it's like, whether I agree with it or not, this is just like the way of the world right now, the way of the guitar community going forward. This is literally no different than, like, say, like the Ibanez guitars of like the 70s, the Ibanez lawsuit guitars. This is just another evolution, you know, of those types of stories. It's just business, man. So it's a huge bummer for Jericho, because I've heard a lot of great things about the company, and, you know, if you guys have one of those shapes that I showed you, or another one that is, you know, eerily similar to a Gibson, hang on to it, man, because it's probably going to be worth a lot of money, and they're probably not going to be made a lot anymore. I mean, Dean can't make V's and Z's anymore. They have to make them like angular and pointy anymore. So, you know, I could see Jericho maybe having to modify these guitars a little bit, just so, you know, they're not direct, you know, copies or like really influenced by Gibson shapes. So it's honestly not that big of a surprise to me personally, having seen a lot of this unfold ever since I've started my YouTube journey, right? It's just like, you know, it's a bummer, to say the least, that, you know, these are real life people's lives being affected, and businesses are apparently being shut down, and websites are being shut down. However, you know, these certain entities just don't care, you know what I mean? And like I said, man, it doesn't matter what the customer's opinion is. You know, they're going to do it anyway, it seems like. So the only way the customer can really have a strong opinion on all of this is if they just don't buy the guitars, you know? So it's interesting, man. It's a bummer, dude. I hate stuff like this. I've learned not to pick sides anymore. I'm just covering the news. But it's just a bummer all around, just because it's not a positive, fun, you know, happy-go-lucky story. So with that being said, what do you guys think of this news story? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I'll meet you down below, okay? Again, this is all allegedly. This is all allegations. This is all just me reporting what's going on in this industry that I love, okay? So with that being said, again, if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. With that being said, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.